So with the release of 2.1, surprisingly enough, Kuro just kind of decided to reveal Brant's whole kit, like his entire full kit, out of nowhere, to be honest. He didn't announce this anywhere, at least I didn't see any announcement for this kind of stuff. But yeah, they just decided to reveal his full kit, and you can find it if you just go to the galleries and you go to the tab where all the characters are shown, even those you don't have, and there, for some reason, Brant is just there in full display. And you can see all of his kit, all of his skills, and you can see exactly what he does. I want to be going full into detail in this video of what he actually does, because it will take way too long, to be honest. But to put it very simply, he has this whole strings of attacks he can do in midair. They do look pretty damn sick, if you guys don't remember what he looks like during the trailers. But he does a bunch of attacks in midair. And surprisingly, Brant is actually a support. I really thought he would be a DPS kind of character, but apparently he's a support. I guess they kind of want to mix things up. Because even with Phoebe, I had a feeling she would be kind of a support kind of character, but she is actually like a super, really strong DPS. And now Brant, who I thought it was going to be a DPS, is now a support. It's kind of interesting how it works out. But in any case, he does a lot of attacks in midair, and he's a support character that heals your team and gives them also shields. And on top of all that, he also improves the next resonators getting into the field. With his outro, he improves their fusion damage and also improves their skill damage. So you might immediately think about Chun-Li, of course, right? That's just like everybody does, because, you know, Chun-Li is basically all skill damage, and so far is the only fusion character that does a lot of skill damage. We don't really have any other characters. We might in the future have a more proper DPS character that does skill damage with fusion damage. But right now we only have Chun-Li, which is interesting because Chun-Li isn't really like a super DPS. She's kind of a sub DPS that's supposed to buff the next character, because she also buffs fusion damage and liberation damage. So it's an interesting dynamic. Because of this, teams will be a little bit weird, since you know, Chun-Li isn't really a super strong DPS, but of course with Brant that will help a lot. A good team would probably be like Brant with Chun-Li and maybe Encore, because, you know, Brant would buff Chun-Li and Chun-Li would buff Encore. Would be interesting. Encore or Shishia, I guess, that would also work. But I mean, we could also use a very hyper carry team, or very hyper carry Chun-Li team, where you'd use Brant and maybe someone like Verena or Shorekeeper to buff the heck out of Chun-Li. That way she can deal a buttload of damage, and yeah, that way she does become a really strong DPS character. I honestly really want to try that, but I probably won't be getting Brant, unfortunately. Even though he is incredibly good, the fact that he does give shields and buff skill damage and also healing makes him actually incredibly universal. He might be one of the most important characters to have. He also, I forgot to mention, he also does scale with the energy region. So the new set, the energy region set that came out during 2.0 is like perfectly made for him, because even that gives him more attack and more energy region. And the heals also scale with energy region. He even has a passive skill that gives him more attack according to his own energy region. Now the question is, should you like skip Phoebe and pull for Brant instead? To be honest, it really depends on your account. If you have someone like Chun-Li, it could be worth it. And if, of course, if you really like Brant, just go for him. And if you don't really care about Phoebe, you know, just skip her and go for Brant, of course. That's way more important than anything else about meta, because the most important thing in the game is your personal enjoyment. But if you're not one of those people, if you have Jinshi and Chun-Li, you don't really need Phoebe, and Brant can help your Chun-Li a lot. And honestly, if you just want to buff one of your fire characters like Encore, if you really like Encore and would like her to be even better, or if you really like Shishia and you would like her to be even better, Brant would be an incredible good choice. And of course, you could just get him just to prepare for a future character, for example. Who knows, maybe we can get, or we will maybe get, a character that deals fire damage with a lot of skill damage. And maybe it's like a super strong DPS character or something like that, who knows. But in any case, that's been it for me for this video. I'm personally not getting Brant because I'm guessing there's gonna be a really good looking character in the future. Someone that showed up in the story, I'm not gonna spoil it, just in case you guys haven't seen it. But someone that shows in the story does look really good, so I'll be saving for that one instead. Even though I actually have Chun-Li, I would also kind of want her to be better. But I don't like Brant enough to actually care about that kind of stuff, to be honest. But in any case, I hope you guys found this helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, thank you so much for all the memberships. Really appreciate you guys. And of course, I'll see you all in the next video.